Good morning and happy Thursday. I'm Toby Tompkins. I'm the CEO of Safio Inc. And this is Ask Toby Day. Hope you guys have had a good week. It's been an interesting week. A lot's been going on. And I actually got a letter that was kind of interesting in response to the recent statement from Ken Chenault and the Black CEOs regarding calling out the CEOs of companies headquartered in the state of Georgia in not being in clear defiance and lack of support of the governor's recent decision to put in place voter suppression laws. So the question really came right down to, Toby, do you think things are really getting worse in this country, or has it always been this way? And why does it feel like it's getting worse to me? And I understand the question. I understand the root of the question. And I think that, so much of what is going on in the world as we understand it has less to do with the reality of how things are or how things have always been or how things might be in the future versus our perception of those things. And the best example I can give you is this. Have you ever purchased a new car? Maybe it's not a new car, but it's a different car than you've ever had before. And upon purchasing that car and driving that car and becoming familiar with that car, all of a sudden you begin to notice how many other cars that are on the road that are similar to yours. So I've had that experience a couple of times where I purchased a car and then discovered later through my observation that, wow, there are a lot of Toyotas on the road. I have a Toyota, there are a lot of Toyotas. Oh, there's the same model as mine, or, oh, that one's different. So all of a sudden, by having that experience, holding that perception, you actually become much more aware, not only of the presence of that experience that you're sharing with other people, i.e. Toyota owners, but also of the ways in which their experience, while similar to yours, might actually be different. Oh, that's a Toyota, but it's a four-door. Oh, that's a Toyota, but it has rims. Oh, that's a Toyota, but it's in a different color than mine. And that's what I think is happening in this country around issues of race. I don't think that we are necessarily experiencing the rise that people think that we've had. I think these sort of phenomena and forces of injustice have been operating in our society pretty much since the beginning. I mean, if you look at what the Constitution, how inclusive the Constitution really is, you begin to see that there's always been space for these kinds of decisions to be made. But we haven't always been willing, ready, or able to perceive that in the way that I think a lot of people are experiencing today. So for me, that question was really timely. And the challenge that I have for you is to really begin to ask yourself, what are the things that you don't believe are true? What are the things that you don't believe are more the norm and more that versus the exception? What are the things that you don't believe are rooted in sexism or homophobia or anti-patriotism? And ask yourself, what would you need to see in order for those things to be true, in order for you to start perceiving those things differently? So that's what I think social media has brought to us. But I think that the power of perception is something that we need to begin to pay attention to. What are the drivers? What are the levers in your own daily experience that shift your perception so that now you can see from here to here, and ultimately to be able to see, as my mama said, I got eyes behind my head, so I can see the things that you may not even think I perceive as well. That's what happens for a lot of people who are truly able to embrace intersectionality and a multicultural lens. And it starts with listening with understanding and compassion. All right, hopefully that's helpful. You guys have a great week. We'll be back on Monday morning with a Monday morning message for beautiful leaders. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.